bringing you the latest news from Lubbock Cooper Athletics. This is the Pirate Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back in. As you heard that nice man say, this is the Pirate Fan Zone. It's the last leg of the high school fan zone on a Wednesday night. I don't know if Jaden knows this. He has to talk one extra segment. He's hitting cleanup. I'll put that sports adage on. Every kid wants to bat cleanup when they're young, so it's really not that bad. It's just a few extra minutes. Plus, we got a lot to talk about. This first time on during the season, right? For a while.
First time this year, yeah.
We've talked with HubCityPreps.com type stuff, but this is the first time Jaden's joined us, and his team is. Let me make sure I get it right. I've got baseball standings up here. That's not going to help me. Now 8-5.
8-5, correct.
8-5. Lost their district opener at Paladuro last night, 41-38, and that's state-ranked Paladuro.
Yeah, number 19, I believe, in the last poll.
Have they lost it? They've lost one game, I believe.
Yes.
You don't want to necessarily be part of history, but that was Coach Johnson's 600th win.
Yeah.
Is he related to AJ? Is that his dad, his uncle?
I believe dad. Yeah.
And then because
so
AJ's
granddaughter plays for him now. Yeah.
And I'm going to guess she's a pretty good player because I saw AJ in high school.
She is. She got a little injured late in the game, and so her minutes were a little limited in the second half. But I think she's going to be fine. And yeah, it was great for him to get that milestone. And all of us are competitive in the coaching field, but we also we know what it takes to get to some of those numbers, and so we were it's a cool moment for them.
You just wish that it would have been maybe
one game later
earlier or earlier. It doesn't matter. But for your girls, that was their first district game, and we did, like I said, we've talked not on radio, just other times. I think it's good for your girls to see this is what district games are going to be like now. I mean, you have a lot of them back that have been around, but you also have some young players. What do you think your girls learned from last night?
Yeah, no, and we've been in some tight games all season. We start the year off. I think 6-7 wins in a row there. But all those games were similar in a lot of ways. The majority of them were ranked opponents. They were tight games in the fourth quarter, and we did some things really well to pull some of those out. And we've been a part of three of them now that we made some mistakes and some game management mistakes late in the game. And it just goes to show them hey, there's a way to pull these things out and to hold leads when you got them late, or fight back if you're a little bit down late. And I think last night's was obviously one we wanted to get done, having a lead in the fourth quarter. But it just shows us that making the right plays down the stretch and understanding time and score late in fourth quarters is a big deal, and it won't be the last one that we see in district play this year for sure.
In a perfect world, you make mistakes and learn from them and a win, but we don't live in a perfect world. So
no. The
important thing is that your girls learn from them. Again, very young. Even Chloe is a junior.
Chloe's a junior.
So your older player, or your old players are still fairly young. I saw you against Memorial.
Mm-hmm.
I know that wasn't your best night of the season either. Now, you guys kind of got. I meant to mention this to you when we talked. Your girls are going to have to get used to. They're used to. Lubbock Cooper kids are used to being that team that everybody takes aim at. Well, you kind of had to put the shoe on the other foot because now Memorial's like, hey, we're the ones. So that was a fun night to watch because I think you guys brought the best out of them that night, and they're also playing very well now. I think they've won 7 games in a row. Since then, I think that's been 10 days ago.
Right.
You guys have not played a bunch, but where are you after last night in terms of where you feel like you can be headed?
Yeah, we're in a similar position. We've run a stretch of games where if you look down our schedule, the majority of them have been highly ranked opponents. We've played 4A number 1 was one of our losses in this stretch. 5A New Mexico number 1 Hobbs was one in this stretch. You talked about Memorial. That was a game where we gave them life and they found a way to pull that one out and make a couple plays late, and that's a great learning curve for us too. Of you got to put people away when you can get them put away, or crazy things happen at the end of games and you can't control it when it gets late. You can't control a call here or or a made bucket that rims in or out, and you don't want to put yourself in those spots. And but yeah, like, you know, we played I think Cisco, it was a small school, number 1 or 2 when we played them, and they got some really good players, and we found a way to put them away. So we've had a good test in our non-district schedule, and then obviously you know, we open up with a ranked opponent in Paladuro that's playing well, and it doesn't get any easier from there. So I think we've done a good job with our scheduling of just putting ourselves into a position where there hasn't been a huge lax ever in our season. We come off a couple of big wins, and you're going to go play 2 or 3 highly ranked opponents again, and that's going to hopefully pay off for us through the district stretch of just putting ourselves in that moment enough times that even with a little bit of youth that we feel pretty comfortable in those moments, and hopefully we're on the right track right there.
You mentioned it doesn't get any easier because now you get to play Dragon Slayer on Friday night. You get them at home. Coronado's 1-1 in district. Everybody we've talked about, they beat Monterey to start the district season, lost to Amarillo High. There's a great example of, and you better be ready because you play the reigning state champion, and then Amarillo High, I think Tascosa's the highest ranked.
Tascosa's the highest. Amarillo High is right up there in the last ranking, maybe around number 8, somewhere in there. And then, you know, at this point in the year, we've been ranked in the top 25. Paladuro's up in the top 25. You got Tascosa's been number 2. I've seen them on film. If they're not every bit of a number 1, then that shocks me because they've got a lot of great pieces over there and they're playing well. So yeah, like, I mean, 5 teams out of the 9 at least right now have been ranked at one point or are still in our district. So there's definitely not a night off, and yeah, it's gonna be a good test every night.
Yep, it's the more things change, the more they stay the same in that district. Monterey is still very good. Their first year coach, as you can attest to, that takes some time to kind of put pieces together. Coming up on a break, that game is 6 p.m. because the boys start as well. Coronado at Lubbock Cooper, District 3 5A doubleheader, 6 and 7:30 p.m. Friday. And then I was looking, and then I think you hit the road to Plainview next week. I'm not going to get you to look ahead because I know you're a coach and you don't want to look ahead. So we'll be back after this break on 100.7 The Score. I'm Randy Rosetta.
Breaking down Lubbock Cooper sports. This is the Pirate Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back in. This is the Pirate Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. Since we mentioned that game on Friday, I want to run through the schedule real quick because we're getting to the point of the season where there's going to be district doubleheaders. 5A districts they get a jump on everybody else, which I may get Jaden to talk about that to see if that's good. Jose Perez, Lubbock High boys coach, was on. He came over from Estacado. I'm not sure that he's used to this early stuff, but you've gotten used to it. This Friday, as I mentioned, Lubbock Cooper's at home against Coronado. Lubbock High is at Tascosa. I need to switch that on my schedule. Caprock's at Monterey, and Plainview's at Amarillo High. So there's right there, just you're talking about this, not just ranked, but you talk about tradition and everything that goes into your district. And I know we're out here in West Texas. People probably look at us like, when you say this is the hardest district in the state, they probably kind of scoff and say, well, this is one of the hardest districts in the state in girls basketball and volleyball and a lot of different sports.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how many times do you end up in 9-team districts this side of the state? You know, it's a little more common in some of the metro areas. And, and then you start throwing the perennial playoff teams that come out of this area that used to just have to meet up somewhere along the way, and now all of a sudden you get them all in the same district, and now you're looking like the Big 12 or the SEC, just beating each other up and then seeing who can get themselves out of that.
And last year was not the first time. Just to make sure people understand, Lubbock Cooper's been to the state tournament twice in the last 5 years. Amarillo High's been there, I believe, twice in the last 5 years. Monterey won state last year. Mm-hmm. Paladuro's not that far removed from at least getting to the regional finals. Tascosa's, this is not new. It's been going on for a while.
Yeah, and you talked about Tascosa being there, and in the last just 3 years, they've been at least past the regional quarters in the past 3 years, and have been in some dogfights to get themselves back to the state tournament. And so, you got a lot of traditions. You got a lot of teams that are used to winning and going deeper into the playoffs, and it's going to get more and more interesting as these districts kind of realign, and may add some more to that here soon.
Well, I've got the TABC rankings right in front of me. Tascosa is number 2. You find Amarillo High is number 9. Paladuro is number 19. Then slide down to 4A real quick. There's some interest over there. Liberty has climbed up to number 9
in
4A. So that's a kind of a residual thing from the schools breaking up. I think we talked that one day. If there was still one school, you guys would be somewhere up in these rankings right now.
You'd be hard pressed to put varsity teams together for sure. There's just there's a lot of talent in our ISD right now, and it's a little wild.
Be hard, good decisions, I guess is the best way to put it.
Ones you would want.
Yes, those are the decisions you want to make. Your girls are fine. I watched them that night, an off shooting night, except for Chloe got hot. I want to talk about Chloe a little bit. She is when I've seen her, she can be streaky, but most shooters are.
Yeah.
But when she's going, man, she gets a little glint in her eye, and I bet you're over there saying, "Yeah, shoot."
Yeah, no, Chloe. She's proved day in and day out with with her practice that just there's a reason she shoots it at such a high clip, and she takes good shots. It's not, she doesn't force it. She doesn't need much room to get it off. She's one of the strongest upper body players that I've had, because I mean she shoots it from half court and she jumps about that high. Really? She's shooting right up on the line. She's jumping a half inch off the ground, but she's got great mechanics, and she's put a lot of time in the gym, and I think her playing off the ball a little bit more this year has let her find a good flow to her offensive game, and just getting lost within the offense and finding times to find some kickouts and be aggressive to do what she does well. And that's what we try to talk to all our girls about, is they all have specific strengths that we need, and they've got to really do what they do well, and then play to each other's strengths on some of the other things, and they're doing a good job of that. We've had some really hot nights, and where we've gotten multiple people into some good double-digit scoring, and like you said, we've had a couple of nights where we couldn't get the ball in the hole, and got to rely more on the defensive end. And like last night was a great defensive effort by us. I thought our kids really did a great job there, and so whether it's offense or defense that wins us the game, there's a route to victory for us. Yeah,
doesn't matter what it looks like as long as it's got that W in front of it. So I want to talk a little bit about one of the players that's helped Chloe get off the ball a little bit more when we come back. Coming up on our second break in the Pirate Fan Zone. We'll be right back after this on 100.7 The Score in the High School Fan Zone.
Bringing you the latest news from Lubbock Cooper Athletics. This is the Pirate Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back in. This is the Pirate Fan Zone. I'm Randy Rosetta with Lubbock Cooper girls coach Jaden Isler. This is we were just talking about this. I like your schedules the rest of the way. I want to be nice because I enjoy tournaments, and I enjoy the Cap Rock, don't get me wrong. The tournament, for what I do with my website, tournaments wear me out because I'm trying to cover games and also basically herd cats. Right. Because there's so many games out there. You'll play 2 and 3. It's I like it when we get to the point of the season where you guys are at. And I'm going to talk to a couple of coaches this week that are ready for this. You actually get to practice.
Yeah, that's the key. Is you're really learning in the middle of games for a long portion at the start of the season, and your every practice is just try to get your legs back under you, try to get some shots up, try to fix a couple things here and there that aren't gonna wear your team out, and then it has been nice. You get to these Tuesday, Fridays, and get some time in between to really tweak and to really dig in on some areas of concern. And it's a great time as a coach to get back to that part.
Because we were talking also, you've spent some time over in New Mexico, you spent some time coaching college level where it is, the routine becomes the thing. I've been around coaches, college and high school, enough to know that you guys are creatures of routine. Now players may like the busy schedules, but coaches, they like that where you get to train, prepare, game plan, play, and kind of get into the hamster wheel, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, and I think it just helps players when you're trying to really learn, especially when you're bringing new kids into your program that haven't been necessarily in the varsity space yet, is teaching them how to go about a work week, and going from a Monday to a Friday, and how you prep, how you got to take care of your body, how you got to get in the weight room, and what that routine looks like, and then taking scout plans and prep, and how do you get that implemented in a day or 2 days in between. So that it's a fun time. You get to kind of build your culture of process, and coaches, I'm very much process oriented, and that helps kind of set the stage for, hey, win or lose, the process tomorrow doesn't change. Whether we won that game or lost that game, the work is the work that's got to be put in the next day. And so I think that's great, especially for young players to just kind of get to feel what a varsity season feels like.
And I know the advantages of tournaments. Coaches will come at me from a different angle. You get to go on the road. You get to do some bonding and chemistry and all that. And I understand that, but nobody's going to listen to me. But I wish they would make it easier on coaches, probably not players. Like I said, players love to play, but just to get you guys to where you could coach more instead of just manage more. Yeah,
we all got into this business because we love to teach the game. Yep. and we love young people, and sometimes when you get in those stretches, you just feel like you're going through the motions. You don't have you can't affect players as much because they're having to do it in the middle of a competition, and you're fighting to win games, and that's got a huge importance on it. But when we can actually get in a gym behind closed doors and really teach and really help develop skill sets and develop knowledge of the game, like that's where most of us are really in our element of being able to affect people.
Because I'm trying to think if there's another sport that's quite like volleyball, similar, where there's so many games, but I'm going to get volleyball coaches mad at me. I don't know if you adjust as much in volleyball as you do in basketball, because it's pretty similar to being the same thing. And Caitlin Anderson will be the one that will scold me about this. Basketball, you could play a completely different team the next day in a tournament, and you don't get to go out there on the court and do that. And for folks who don't know, I'm not going to send people to your practice, but Jaden's practices, there's a lot accomplished. Most coaches, that's the case, but I've sat and watched his practices a lot. This dude gets his girls prepared, and it gives you, like you said, it gives you a chance to do what you love.
Yeah, and that's with kids. You're just trying to give them the best shot possible. Obviously, the kids are the ones that have to go make the plays, and there's some things you can control, there's things you can't, and at a certain point in games, like, they've got to go make the plays, and that's what you want. You want your players being able to go make plays and use their gifts. But we talked to our team a lot about controlling. There's certain things you can control, and there's certain that you can't. And so if I'm going to expect them to control what they can control, then I better be the one that preps them and make sure they've got the best fighting chance.
You were coaching in TAPS before you came here, is that correct?
I spent 1 year as an assistant in TAPS, yeah.
Because that may be even more. They cram more into a short period. I've just talked to one of the coaches in town here, and out here especially, Trinity Christian, Lubbock Christian in particular, go to the Metroplex week after week after week. So you don't get air miles for that. You just get tired legs
on the ground and go.
Yep. So we're not going to talk any more about travel. We finished talking about basketball. It's going to wrap us up in the Pirate Fan Zone and the high school fan zone for this week. Come back next week and we'll talk a lot more basketball. I'm Randy Rosetta. This is 100.7 The Score.